Question number 11, Tracey Martin.
To the Minister of Education, does she stand by all her statements?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker.
Tēnā koe.
Yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
Does she stand by her statement on News Talk ZB on the 26th of November 2015 that, and I quote, "No, I am not set on my decision. It is an interim decision," end quote, with regard to Redcliffe School? And can she give an assurance that the final submission by Redcliffe School, due tomorrow, will be considered with an open mind?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
Does she stand by her statements of the 16th of March 2016, endorsing the intensive wraparound service as a lifesaver for special needs students, when only 28 of the 335 students supported by IWS were included in the last MOE review, and of those only 10 are predicted to have sufficient resources available to ensure they can stay in school?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, yes, I stand by the statement I actually made, which was in reference to the NZCER's report, not the Ministry's, and I was quoting a parent who stated that she considered it a lifesaver for her child.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
Does she stand by her statement on News Talk ZB on Friday the 12th of February 2016 that, and I quote, "The Ministry makes the decisions whether or not statutory intervention has to occur"?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Point of order.
Point of order, Tracey Martin.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a document released under OIA showing Minister Parata signing off on the decision to dissolve the board and appoint the Commissioner at Rangiora High School dated the 11th of February 2015.
Leave is sought to table that particular document. Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
Does she stand by her statement on News Talk ZB on Friday the 12th of February 2016, and I quote, "We don't have anyone gagged," with reference to Rangiora High School?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
I'll have to take the member at her word that she scrutinised these transcripts, but that would be true, yes.
Point of order.
Point of order, Tracey Martin.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a letter from the Commissioner of Rangiora High School dated the 12th of February 2015 to the then Principal Peggy Burrows, effectively gagging her.
Order. The last part. Order. Order. I would have put the leave until the last part was added. It was totally unnecessary. That is an interpretation. Order. That is an interpretation of the member which was not necessary. Question number...
Mr Speaker.
Oh, supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Education, does she stand by all of her statements regarding the sufficiency of NCEA literacy requirements, given NZQA are currently proposing that 8 credits of the 10 literacy credits required for NCEA Level 2 could be met by getting a driver's licence?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, I do, and to be clear about those 8 credits, 2 are at NCEA 1 for the written test, 4 are at NCEA 2 for the restricted, and 2 are at NCEA 2 for a full licence, and they are based on literacy requirements relevant to each of those stages of the driver's licence.
Supplementary question, Mr
Supplementary question.
Mr Speaker, can she confirm that the only literacy requirement for all 3 levels of a driver's licence is a 35-question picture-based multi-choice test? If so, how can she possibly claim that completing that test demonstrates almost all of the literacy skills required for further study or the workplace?
Mr Speaker.
Order. The Honourable Hekia Parata.
No to the first part of the question, but can I say that the member's unhappiness that this government's actually doing stuff that that party has promised but never delivered is driving his angst.
Question number 12, Stuart.